I'm about to say something heavy, and I'm going to try and lighten this up as best as I can. But we all have a funeral in our future, and how you feel about that probably depends on your beliefs. But for a lot of people, it's scary. But not because of what might lie beyond, it's because of the costs of that funeral. In the face of those costs, many people are turning to cremation instead of traditional burials. Tonight, we examine how that trend could lead us to another alternative, green burials.
Just kind of going back to what was normally done hundreds of years ago that we've just gotten away from.
Grief on top of grief. Of the many unenviable tasks that come with being a funeral home director, guiding families through often the saddest part of their lives, they then have to delicately hand them a bill for one of the most expensive times in their lives.
It just making me sick that we couldn't figure out a way for folks to have that option.
The option of an elaborate funeral with a polished casket buried 6 feet in the ground in a concrete vault. The costs have grown too high for too many, limiting options funeral directors like Jason Kirby can offer.
We have a lot of folks that will come in and sit down with us and pre-plan what they want. Families' desires for lower cost options, cremation being one of them, has presented challenges, but it's also presented positive changes in our profession.
The biggest change? The growing acceptance of cremation. Kirby inherited this family business in Mountain Home. As a child, he did homework on an embalming table. His childhood bedroom adjoined a showroom for cremation urns. Since he took over, he's reconfigured the building to meet a new market.
We built this room in 2016, added the crematory here, and designed this just for our cremation families.
Families can actually play a role in placing their loved ones in the massive chamber, or just be in the room close by as the process takes place. It allows Kirby to sell a more affordable, full-service experience, and that's something seen at funeral homes across the state.
Does any economic industry come to mind that prices haven't gone up in the last 30 or 40 years? I mean, from groceries to dining out to clothes and textiles.
Robert Akers is the director of the State Funeral Services Division. Complaints about funerals and costs come here. Amy Good is the executive secretary for the funeral board.
You know, I'd say 10 or 15 years ago, no one wanted to talk to cremation, very, very rarely. It was not as, my mom would tell you, don't you cremate me. I want to be buried.
For those people daunted by the cost of a full-service burial, the funeral board can do very little. But Good is closely following something Kirby is trying, green burial.
Green burial typically is no casket, no vault, no embalming, wrapped in a shroud, placed in the ground, covered with dirt.
Well, in modern times, this is what we think of when we think of a cemetery.
Yes.
Kirby is the only professional offering this simplified idea anywhere in Arkansas.
Folks are able to not have to put so much money in products, still have the services that they want, and go to a beautiful cemetery.
Kirby's been able to pioneer the green burial concept because the family owns a perpetual care cemetery. It has large traditional sections you'd recognize, headstones, brass plates, vaults under them, but he also has this area set aside in a back corner.
What's happening here that's different from what's happening on the rest of the property?
So shallow graves and no caskets, no vaults, all natural embalming fluids that are used, if any at all, and the markers are going to be different.
Since beginning to offer certified green burial more than 2 years ago, Kirby says he's done about one a month. Initially, demand has come from people concerned about the environment. Good has been monitoring other methods tried in other states, with an eye on whether funeral directors may soon join Kirby.
We want to be proactive versus reactive. I think it's going to be a while in the state of Arkansas before we'll see really anyone wanting to put in an alkaline hydrolysis chamber nor natural organic reduction, because it's just not here yet, I don't think.
I think maybe as the technology becomes more prevalent, as it gets more advertising and more exposure in the industry, we'll see increased inquiries.
But another factor could change that.
It's about half the cost of a traditional burial. We have packages that are in the $4,000 range for a package for a green burial.
And that should appeal to people hoping to avoid a legacy of a huge burial bill, joining those looking to reduce the impact on the earth as they're placed in the earth.
There's still a place for families that want to have a casket. There are going to be those folks that want to be cremated, but I think we're feeling really good that we have one more choice for the families that we're taking care of.